Hey, this is Jerry Strauss, host of Hollywood Happy Place. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hey, it's Baxter Colburn here from Public House Media. Did you know that we just added a store here at Public House Media? No, I'm not talking about a grocery store where you can go buy apples or bananas or peanut butter, which are all fantastic, especially when peanut butter's on all of those. Anyway, we've added a store here at Public House Media so you can not only come and represent your favorite podcast network, but also represent your favorite shows as well, too. Just go over to thepHmedia.com and look in the top right corner where you'll see the button that says Store. Click on that and you can search through all of our great products. Or if you go to our Facebook page, Public House Media, you can see on the left-hand side a tab that says Store. All of our products are listed there as well too. It's the new Public House Media Store. You don't want to miss it. It is fantastic. Buy some of that great swag to support your favorite shows and to support Public House Media. Check it out today.
This is Ezekiel Drews, host of Podcast, A Star Wars Story, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Podcast, A Star Wars Story, where we talk about anything and everything Star Wars. A new show comes out bi-monthly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Podcast, A Star Wars Story. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
If you don't want your basketball to get wet, then don't dribble all over it. Welcome to Completely Serious. That catchphrase was sent to us by listener Dolph. Zig back and forth. Thank you for that submission, Dolph. And thank you for listening to Completely Serious. I'm your host, Ryan Piers. And why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because you aren't listening for me. You are listening for our guests, or guests. Today, it is plural. We have multiple guests, 4 in fact, and we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to our first one, who I'm very excited to bring on the podcast for the first time. We'll get to him in a second, but first, I want to tell you about my new favorite way to drink a popular drug. Yes, I'm talking about sweet coffee. And I now drink coffee out of the official Completely Serious coffee mug, and you can too by going to publichousemedia.storeenvy.com. I will repeat that for you in case you did not have a pen or pencil and paper handy. How about that for alliteration? Go to publichousemedia.storeenvy.com. Mug description. This mug is sturdy and glossy and can withstand a microwave and a dishwasher. Oh my goodness, not just a microwave, not just a dishwasher, but both. You can both heat up your coffee and clean it out without having to use your hands. That's incredible. It is sturdy and glossy. Wow, that's a rare combination. And can withstand a microwave and a dishwasher. How cool is that? It says Completely Serious in big, black, bold print on our yellow logo that I love so much. And the words "Have Fun" plus "Talk Sports" are written on the outside. So much better than "Have Fun" and "Talk Sports," which is our official catchphrase. It's "Have Fun" plus "Talk Sports." It's a math equation, and it's about sports. What more could you ask for? That is the official Completely Serious coffee mug. You can get a big cup for $20 or a little cup, medium cup, I would say, a normal size cup for $15. If you're like me, you're a lightweight, you can't take your coffee drugs. You get that medium cup for $15. But if you love your coffee, $20, and you have the official Completely Serious coffee mug. I'm excited. I'm going to buy 10, I think. And you can get those at publichousemedia.storeenvy.com. And there are even prized memorabilia from the rest of the Public House family. Stop. No, you stop. Again, publichousemedia.storeenvy.com. Get my coffee mug, our coffee mug, or get great other stuff. Content stuff, one of those things from the rest of the Public House Media family. It's also on our Facebook page. Yes, we have a Facebook page now. It's the Completely Serious Facebook page. It does not get any better than that. Okay, let's get to our guests. Before we get to them, I have a confession to make. When I recorded the show, I had my guest mic down too low, and the sound didn't come out very well. It was fuzzy and a little bit hard to hear, although he's certainly audible. And I was debating telling him what happened. I was debating just not airing it and not saying anything and hope nobody realized. And I thought, you know what? Our guest was too good. We have to air this. So I took out the best, most audible content, stuff that I just couldn't waste. and I laid out the audio on the operating table, took out my scapula, and went to work, and it came out, I think, solid enough to where I was like, okay, let's go with it. So the interview is shortened. We've used the most audible parts, some great parts, and I apologize for the hissing. I apologize to my great guest, who I'll mention in a second. I apologize to you, the listener, for not getting the full genius of our guests that we have on this week. But I still hope you will enjoy the interview we had from a couple weeks ago, so a tad bit outdated. We talk about preseason baseball and baseball starting. It started yesterday from when this podcast airs, the Thursday before the Friday that it airs. But I still really enjoy the interview, and I know you will too. He's a host of the hugely popular, nationally recognized. This podcast has been nominated for multiple awards. This is one of the best sports podcasts in the country. That's an objective thing to say in this case. It is Corey from the IVNV podcast. And I start off by asking him how excited he is for this Cubs season to begin.
That season, it appears that they weren't ready for it to start either. We just kind of wanted to bask in the glow of finally being World Series champions. And it was such a short off season, something, even just calendar-wise, something we weren't used to. But then all of the just, celebratory things, and it went so quickly. Well, last year's playoffs ended at the hands of the Dodgers and the NLCS. And so, that kind of left that bitter taste in our mouth. And I feel like, a lot of Cubs fans are ready to get this season started, because I think that, it seems, especially from what we've heard coming out of Mesa, it sounds like a lot of the beat reporters there and stuff are saying that this team right now feels more like that 2016 team as far as that hunger and drive and being on a mission, where the 2017 team maybe kind of lost a little bit of that edge.
I think it was Jose Altuve for the Houston Astros even mentioned, we're not going to be like the Cubs, we're going to come out and be ready, but you really can't. I'm sure these baseball players, there is that hangover effect.
Cubs were one of the first, I think they were the first World Series winner to return to the playoffs in like the previous 8 years. And so it's really hard to argue with that hangover effect. And I think it was almost enhanced by the fact that Cubs fans in Chicago were so hungry for a World Series championship that the party really didn't stop on November 3rd. It pretty much went all off season. And so maybe in Houston, maybe it isn't quite that intense. And so it wouldn't surprise. I don't know if it's because the Astros are that much better than the Cubs, but I think maybe they might be able to hold off a World Series hangover. But I don't think most cities would have gone through what Chicago went through in that offseason.
Sure, 5 million people at the parade, I think, definitely shows how excited the city was and how much it meant. You brought up some reports from spring training. I listening to your podcast, IVNV, I might have an idea what you're going to say here, but on a scale of 1 to it means the world to you, how much do you care about spring training baseball in terms of as an indicator for how good a player is going to be for an upcoming season?
Yeah, I don't. It basically means nothing to me. I think what I always want to see coming out of spring training is everybody healthy, and I think that's kind of what we want to see now as a Cubs fan and watching the team go through the rebuild. The spring training was a lot more exciting in 2011 through 2014, 15. All these players that were down in the minors, that was kind of our chance to see them on a bigger stage and actually play against major league talent.
Well, Corey, thanks a ton for jumping on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Corey from IVNV. Can you remind everybody where they can find you and the podcast and everything you guys do online?
We're on Twitter at IVNV. We have Instagram and Facebook pages are at IVNV Podcast. Those are. But we're in all the podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, pretty much you can find us everywhere. And then we also have free apps for iOS and Android, so you can listen to all of our episodes there too.
It's a great podcast. You do such a good job with your listeners, and you have retreats throughout the summer. It's just a really cool family and community you guys have built. It's fun to listen to. So thanks again for jumping on.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yes, that was Corey from the IVNB podcast, the show that talks baseball Cubs and doesn't use their last names. Please check out his podcast. We'll be right back with more Completely Serious. Back here on Completely Serious, we are here with some special guests today. It's the beginning of baseball season.
Hey!
Yeah.
And we're here with the three biggest baseball fans, former players. They're going to talk about baseball in today compared to what it used to be. We're with the Jersey Boys.
Yeah, freaking Jersey Boys. Not to be confused with the singers, the Jersey Boys.
You don't sing.
No,
Okay.
now, you know, they do have that song, though, Big Girls Don't Cry. Let me tell you something, though. Big Girls, they do cry when the man loses at the baseball games.
The baseball girls, the cleat chasers, what they're called.
Correct.
You guys have been playing baseball for a long time. Can you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, Frank Patrone here.
Friggin' Mike Pikowski.
And I'm Scott Frisioni.
Scott's in the corner there. He is, from what I understand, Scott's not the biggest of baseball fans. Even though he played, he was very good.
I'm the guy who always had something in his mouth.
Big League Chew.
He was a Big League Chew guy.
Little sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds. You're the one that left a mess all the time on the foil. I had to
Friggin'
had to go clean it up. Coach always yelled at me. He's like, "Who out there chewing up the nuts out there? All right." And I was like, "It wasn't me, boss. Come on. I can't eat those. I'm allergic."
He's friggin' spitting seeds everywhere.
You guys have been playing baseball for how many years now?
30.
And you were professionals, but now you play in a slow pitch softball?
Yeah, it's a church league, actually. It gets real competitive out here. We got to play against St. Mark's.
Gotta have a little bridge between the Protestants and the Catholics. They get real competitive across these lines. Borders don't break down over 400 years, so tell you what.
You know, Martin Luther, he had the Reformation, but we got a first baseman.
Who got the A-team formation.
That's what I'm saying.
You rhyme. I had no idea you were like both baseball players and poets in a way.
Poet didn't know it.
Silly.
Baseball today, how is it different from when you guys used to play back in Jersey?
Yeah, it just doesn't have the heart and soul like it used to. Everyone's got all this padding. You got all these nice cleats and shoes and everything like that. The parents are like, "Oh, okay, Billy, now you go out there and play nice with all the other kids." My dad was like, "Boy, you best to win or you come home not eating tonight."
That's cruel. So your father, you were saying...
No. He was great. He really wanted to try and just motivate me.
No, here's the thing. Don't let him lie to you. Him and his father had a pretty contemptuous relationship for most of his life. Poor guy.
Well, I want to get into it. So how did that play into your baseball career? Were you one of those kids that was always trying to impress Dad, and you were never able to win his affection?
Oh, no, I won his affection all the time. I kicked some butts out there, I tell you what. That was the best batter up. I tell you what.
His dad's dying words to him was, "I'm proud of you for your baseball career."
My God, that's sad. You guys say it with such contempt.
You
how'd he
know-
die? How'd he pass away?
Old age, and, we worked things out, okay?
Part of the old age, though, I mean, really, he got hit with a baseball. But that's besides the point.
It's
Let's
old
just say it
news,
was
okay?
old age.
Ironic.
One of us here might have hit
It
the ball.
was, it was definitely very ironic. Quite the way to pass.
Speaking of poetry, it was a little bit of poetic justice, if you know what I'm saying.
Baseball is starting back up. How excited are you guys for the first pitch, the smell of the grass, being back out in the ballpark?
Oh, yeah. I always love the fresh smell of fertilizer, fresh grass clippings, and I love to hear screaming children down my block. It's great. Just love it. You know who I'm excited to see in the league? Tommy Hilfiger. He has got a great crave ball, and I am real excited to see anyone try to hit that.
Tommy Hilfiger, let me tell you something. He's a heck of a shortstop. Heck of a shortstop.
Short top?
A shorts top.
Is that your Jersey accent?
He was a big deal in the 90s. He was a heck of a player.
You're not confusing Tommy Hilfiger with the clothing line, are you?
No.
What?
As a clothing line?
There's a clothing line, Tommy Hilfiger. I've not heard of the baseball player, but you guys are the experts, though.
Now there was a
They're giving
player...
everyone... Wait, you're talking about clothing lines here. Where was my deal, okay? I don't see any t-shirts with Frank Patrone on them.
Yeah, I didn't know that Tommy got a freaking clothing line deal.
Yeah, they better give me a call, give me some endorsements. I really like some of that bucks.
We helped him out a bunch with his career. That's it's a little disappointing we never got any money from that. So,
were you guys well paid as baseball players?
Times were rough back in the day, but it was worth it. It was decent pay. It put the food on the table.
You know,
Got gas
at
in
the end
the
of the
car.
day, all you can ask for is that somebody can buy you some peanuts and Cracker Jack. Because I don't really care if I ever come back.
You both are wearing a 5-piece suit, so you've done well for yourself since your
absolutely.
playing days.
Yeah, what is that store that I went to? It's down in South.
We about to see Dollar Tree?
No. I can't remember. It's the one. You know, they got that nice guy that works back there.
Please come to the microphone. It
Oh,
won't
sorry
bite.
about
So
that.
you're good.
It's fedoras.
It's the guy, the one that's got I think his name's Austin. Yeah.
The Rambler.
The Mission Mart.
Oh, there it is. The Mission Mart. Yes, the Mission Mart.
In South Jersey.
Yes.
Yeah, you see here though the person that does the best off out of all of us here is Scott, our friend Scott here.
I've been meaning to go to Scott. Scott, what do you... Baseball, it's coming up. What do you think?
See, I'm more of a football guy.
I thought you played baseball, though.
I did. I wasn't very good. Like I said, I always had something in my mouth.
He just knew what to do with the endorsements. He had a couple beef jerky endorsements, a couple sunflower seed companies,
Topps playing cards.
Big League Chew.
Was that ever a point of contention with Scott getting all these endorsements and you guys, although you've done well for yourself?
Oh, absolutely. He's a schmuck.
Scott, do you just take that line down? Are you used to it? I feel like you might be used to it from these guys.
Yeah, it's been happening for quite a while, but once I pop in a couple pieces of Big League Chew, I can just chew my problems away.
I hear that a lot, Big League Chew these days. It
Delicious.
lets you forget about your problems.
It's just... I remember when it was the good old stuff, okay? They had the red kind, they had the pink kind, and then the purple kind. Now they got this neon green. Who wants that? What is it? Going to be something nuclear or something? I don't know what them kids are eating.
Here's the thing.
I remember the Red Scare, and you know what? We just don't need to go back there, okay? I see airplanes buzzing over, and I get the heebie-jeebies. I hide in the duck and cover, and it's just not good.
Kids these days don't know what good Big League Chew is if it freaking popped them in the mouth.
I'm worried about asking this question, but I think it's something that we have to ask.
Ask away.
When somebody that's used to play baseball at such a high level, and now they watch these... you said how old are you guys now?
74.
You're now 74, and you used to watch these... You used to play at a high level. Now you're watching these other players play at a high level. But the game is different. There's concussions now people are worried about. They play with protection. They play with more safety. What do you think about those changes to
Garbage.
baseball?
Complete garbage.
It just doesn't... I remember I scraped my knee. I got a little dirt in it. And I go home to my mother, and you know what she says? Suck it up, big crying boy, put a little alcohol on it. All right?
I'm sorry, you say alcohol?
Alcohol, yeah.
Yeah,
little
yeah,
alcohol on it.
Little alcohol.
Little alcohol on it. Little
be
grandpa's all cough syrup. He said it'd make it real nice.
It's that syrup, if you will, that the kids are saying these days.
Scott, what do you think about the safety changes to baseball?
Well, as far as safety goes, those are always going to change. But something that you can see that is still consistent with the game of baseball is Big League Chew. Players today still...
Scott, I got a question for you. You're still being endorsed by Big League Chew.
No, I am not.
Oh, okay. Well, that's impressive.
He lies. He gets. I see his mail. I open his mail sometimes at the retirement home. He gets endorsement checks.
Wait, what are you doing? Should we not talk about this?
Yeah.
Should we have a side conversation here?
Yeah.
Should we cut the mic?
Anyway,
Okay.
so...
I want to know some predictions. predictions.
Yeah, I don't open Scott's
Mets.
mail. That's illegal.
Mets.
That's not on there. You'll take that out in post, correct? He can't hear us right now.
No collection whatsoever.
Because he's got hearing aids.
Insurance money. I didn't ask about insurance money.
Exactly. So anyway, the Mets. I really think they're going to be taking it to the next level this year. They got some good players out there. They got some good ends. They got some good training.
The Mets, the freaking New York Mets. They're gonna go all the way to the freaking World Series, and you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna throw a freaking no-hitter,
You guys seem confident about the New York Mets. Were you Mets fans growing up in Jersey?
Yeah, they were good. I liked them. They always came down. We'd see the big boys come down. They'd let us young guys kind of, pick up after them. Of course, I got to be the bat boy occasionally. Sometimes I got hit with the bat. They just had to move out the way. It was
also,
good.
the best part about being a bat boy, sometimes you get to freaking dress up in a Batman costume.
I didn't know that was
Yeah,
part of the
weekends.
routine. I have seen teams sometimes will have the young Bat Boys dress up in Halloween costumes.
No. Bat Boy is the guy who dresses up as Batman and hands out the water.
I had no idea. Is this a tradition in Jersey that's not happening around the rest of the country?
He's not the hero that the team needs. He's the hero the team deserves.
Jersey boys, thank you guys for jumping on the podcast. Are there any parting words you want to say to our listeners?
If you gotta wear a cup, you're not a real man.
Oh, goodness. You gotta go make the low blows like that one. Man, I remember this one time. Poor boy came walking by, swinging, preparing for bat. Just clocked the poor guy. Dropped him out for 2 weeks. His pops yelled at me. My pops popped him. It turned into a real bad situation. And
his pops was so embarrassed by him that he let me pull his drawers down in front of the whole freaking team.
Scott, any parting words? Any parting stories?
No.
That is Completely Serious on Public House Media. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk with you next week.